Let's talk about Jiu-Jitsu injuries.
Betty Botter bought some butter, but she said the butter's bitter. If I put it
Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is a martial art and a combat sport that involves grappling and ground fighting techniques. While BJJ emphasizes control and technique, guess what? Surprise, surprise, injuries can still happen. In this video, we'll take a look at where injuries can occur, what the most common injuries are, and how one should respond if they get injured. Let's start off with where injuries occur. There are three main types of scenarios you may find yourself in when getting injured. The first and most common will be your training sessions. Injuries can occur during regular training sessions while practicing techniques, drilling, or engaging in live sparring. Accidents can happen due to collisions, typically from white belts snorting a pocket full of nose beers before, rolling up to the gym. The second most common place for jiu-jitsu injury is gonna be in competitions. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu tournaments often involve intense matches. Competitors strive to gain advantageous positions or to submit their opponents. In this quote-unquote high-stakes environment, injuries can occur due to the increased intensity and explosive movements, or could be completely your fault when refusing to tap over a $4 plastic medal. The third and least common is the streets. This is the least likely of the three, but if you get a grappling injury in the streets, it's probably because you drank too much. Last call was 2 minutes ago, and you didn't have time to stretch before getting in a fight. Or this could also occur because you're talking shit to somebody who's actually another trained opponent and is much better than you. It's hard these days. You can't really tell who's good when this fucking guy can beat the shit out of this fucking guy. So how can these injuries happen? Well, first, they can come from a submission or joint lock if techniques are not executed correctly, or if you fail to tap out in time, you may get injured. And if you fail to tap out in time, you know what I call you? A big fucking idiot. Next, takedowns and throws. BJJ includes takedowns and throws. And well, sometimes, and by sometimes I mean it doesn't happen very often because no one actually wrestles. We opt in to sit crisscross applesauce style 9 times out of 10. However, if they do happen, these dynamic movements can involve forceful impact. Yeah, guess what? They can actually result in injury. So I'm just gonna keep fucking pulling guard, I guess. So what are the most common types of injuries and what's the severity range? Well, they can range quite drastically, but starting with the least severe, bruises and contusions. These are the mildest form of injuries, typically caused by, some sort of minor impact during training or competition. They heal pretty quickly, so if you use this as an excuse to get out of training, you may also want to go ahead and drive to the store and get some Tampax because you're acting like a pussy. Next one up on the severity list is sprains or strains. BJJ involves a lot of joint manipulation and twisting motions, which can lead to sprains and strains. That should be a fucking rap song. If you get a sprain or strain, just fucking rest up, take a week off until you feel 100%. Next up is dislocations. In jiu-jitsu, practitioners can experience dislocations, particularly in the joints such as the shoulders, fingers, and toes. Honestly, there's not much you can do about it if it's your fingers and toes. Just fucking tape it like everyone else and you'll be alright. Following that, we have concussions. Head injuries, including concussions, can occur in BJJ, especially during takedowns. If you play for the Detroit Lions or any other NFL team, you actually don't have to worry about this. Just get back to training. Nobody really gives a shit anyway. But I'm assuming you don't make a fucking $1 billion rolling with sweaty men, so you might as well take a few weeks off. Call it a true concussion protocol. Following that, we have fractures. Bone fractures can occur in jiu-jitsu. Although they are less common, fractures can be a result of an intense submission, takedown, or just straight up accidents. Depending on the location of the fracture, treatment and surgery may need to be involved. So, I don't know, consult with a person that knows what they're talking about, not some random fuck on YouTube. Lastly, we have spinal injuries. They are super rare, however, they can occur in jiu-jitsu. Honestly though, these aren't the worst thing to happen in the sport of jiu-jitsu, because although you will be paralyzed, hey, at least you're gonna walk out with $46 million. If you experience any injury or have any concerns, it's always advisable to seek medical attention and consult with a healthcare professional. And if they say nothing is wrong with you, then guess what? Now you know you're being a soy boy puss. That's all I had, folks. Thanks for watching.